Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. So we have got a Tim Burton Mrs. Lovett inspired makeup. This is not a Mrs. Lovett costume, this is a shawl and a corset, and I've just kind of layered them because it kind of looks Victorian or Edwardian or whatever time period it's in, whatever. It's lacy and it's kind of like black and cream. Yeah, that's kind of it. I've got my rolling pin. I wanted a meat cleaver but I couldn't find one, and I have a rolling pin instead. So yeah, I put a lot of effort into my hair, and I don't know how I'm going to take it back down because I've just stuck loads of clips in and I don't know where they are. But that's just it. That's fine. I love this makeup. This is one of my all-time favourite makeups. This is my favourite, like, sort of Tim Burton makeup to do. I think it's so weirdly glam. You could disagree, that's fine. To me, it's weirdly glam. Like, I think this is like real kind of sexy looking, even though it's like bags under the eyes and like kind of ill. But I just think it's so nice. It's just something so appealing to this for me, and I don't know why. I love it so much. And Helena Bonham Carter is a queen, absolute queen. Love her so much. She is like one of my icons. And yeah, I just want to be her. So I tried my hardest. The hair is the way it is because I don't know how to do hair, and this is as close as I could get. So don't judge the hair, please. I do show kind of a little bit of how I did it and explained how I did it as well towards the end because my camera died towards the end, but whatever. But yeah, this is it. This is our gorgeous, very grungy, very sickly looking smoky eye. That is Miss Helena Bonham Carter, Mrs. Lovett from Sweeney Todd, and I love it. I am planning on doing a whole Tim Burton like Halloween series, and I have like 6, 7 maybe picked out that I want to maybe try and do, and I'm going to try to get them all done if I can. Yeah, we'll see how that goes. But there's some of my favourite characters. I can't do them all, so if I miss your character then I'm sorry, but maybe in the future I will. But this year I've picked a certain amount that I want to do, and I cannot wait to do them. They're going to be so cool, so dramatic, I love it. And yeah, if you want to see how to be Mrs. Lovett and her meat pies, I'm not going to show you how to make meat pies though because I can't do that, but show you how to look like Mrs. Lovett as she's making her meat pies, then keep on watching. Alright guys, so let's start our Mrs. Lovett look. I do have my window open behind me, or not my window, my curtains open behind me because I thought a bit of backlight might be good. I don't know. It actually looked quite good in the camera, so either way I look pale, doesn't make a difference. So we are going to start with the 17 Wow Skin 3-Way Highlighter Glow and Prime. It's a very metallic highlighter. I kind of want this skin to look ill in a pretty way. Yeah? Like, I love this makeup. I think this is like a beautiful makeup, and it's something that I'm not opposed to wearing. Like, tired, slightly sick looking makeup that's really weird. I know that sounds so weird. I just really like that style, and that's what I love about Tim Burton's style of makeup. So I'm going to use this to kind of make my skin kind of moist looking when I put the foundation on top. And I am going to pale down my skin, not completely white, because I kind of am already almost white. Yeah, I'm going to just pale it down like a shade or two lighter than my skin, just to make it still believable. Okay, so I have very cheekily gotten 2 samples from MAC, because I just don't use this product enough to buy it. I maybe use it like once a year, if even that, if I do need it. I will need it this season though, because I am going to do a lot of these kind of looks. But I did get a sample of full coverage in white and one in NC15, which is kind of close to my colour. I'd be more NC10, like say, as my natural colour. But I grabbed that because I can mix them together and make them, like NC15 would probably match me better now, but usually an NC10 really. So I'm taking mostly white on the back of my hand. I'm going to try and mix enough so I don't have to remix it because I hate when I have to do that. And then I'm going to take a little bit of the NC15. Kind of going to do like 2 parts white, 1 part NC15. See how we get on. I'll just add NC15 as I need to. I'm just going to mix on the back of my hand with a spatula. So I think I might go with that kind of colour. I have like pictures of her. She's very pale. I'll add a smidgen more white. No, do you know what? I'm going to go in with this all over and just see how we get on. If I need to add more white, I can go in with more kind of over top and give it a quick going over with some white. I think I'm just going to go with this for now and just see how this looks. What I'm going to use is my Real Techniques Expert Face Brush to buff this in. It's load the brush with the spatula so we don't waste any product. And I'm just going to I'm going to speed through this. I'm just going to buff this all over the skin. Just to really get it on there. But in a sheer layer. I know this is a full coverage foundation. It's full coverage, so but we don't want it to be full coverage. We want to see skin through it. So I'm going to do a very thin layer first. I want to still see like veins through. I want to still see kind of the bluiness of my skin and the pinkiness of my skin as well. It's supposed to kind of look like no makeup on the skin and like very ill. But yeah. Okay, so once we have that on, I've kind of brought it down like this far. This far. Here. I'm going to just kind of do something a bit weird, so I'm literally just going to like press this into my skin because it is still like full coverage. And I still want it to look like it's in my skin, like it is my skin, you know what I mean? So, I'm just going to press that on. Okay, so like I said, we don't need to do any sort of concealer, so I'm just going to finish my skin off. Will I do contour now? No, I'm going to do like this bit and then we'll move on to brows and eyes, and I'd rather have that much done and then we can go in a contour because I don't know how extensive this is going to be. So I'm going to take my MAC translucent powder loose. Doesn't matter what kind of powder, translucent or any kind of white powder is fine. The RCMA loose powder, no colour powder, whatever it's called, that's fine too. I'm going to use this one because I never really use this and I think it'll be fine. Photograph's fine. It's just to set it down. I know I use like a moist kind of primer underneath it, but I do want to set it so that way I'm not like gonna move too much on my face, and I can always spray it at the end to make it look a bit more dewy again. You'll notice as well that you can still see like some blemishes. Now you can do Mrs. Lovett like full glam if you really want to. I don't want to. I want to do it as close as I can get in my version. So I have a couple of different products here. I've got my number 7 Beautiful Eyebrow Sculpting Pencil. This is in the shade brown. It's actually not a bad colour for me, even like as a blonde. It should be fine, but I will darken it a little bit, and I also have a dark brow set because it's definitely a hairy brow, so we definitely want to bush it up a little bit. So let's go through the brow. It's a twist up kind of triangular shaped pencil. I'm just going to kind of map it out first. It's quite thick. Let's see. So it's definitely straight up here. Like that. I think for these kind of looks, it's okay to have a bit of a ridiculous looking brow. And then we're going to slope down. Thinking there. And just make it so that it's like kind of a little bit higher just here. Make it almost like an angry brow, and then just fill it underneath. You don't need to fill in the entire thing. So my next thing I'm going to do is take this Catrice Eyebrow Filler Perfecting and Shaping Gel. This is in the shade, what shade are you? 010. What colour? Doesn't say. It's a kind of darker one though. I do have a lighter one. I know it's like ash blonde or something like that. This is a little bit more of a brunette kind of colour. I got it because I love the actual product and I think I could wear this just on its own. But for now, we are going to bushy up these brows. So now that we have very weird looking eyebrows, let's move on to shadow. Now, I have this guy. This is it's my second time using it, because I am pre-recording these videos. Focus. Yeah, so I am pre-recording these videos because I do want to get them. I have a lot to plan out here, so I need to get a few rolling. I recently bought the Louise eyeshadow base. Wore it once today in work actually, because I did go to work, take a makeup off, come home, had a nap because I really needed a nap, and now I'm filming. And it is currently 8 PM, which I never film this late usually. used it today. Don't know how I feel about it because it did crease on me. I don't know. I feel like I need to play with it a little bit more, but I'm going to use my finger to apply it. I used a brush. I don't know if I used too much, too little. I tapped it, which is apparently what you're supposed to do. I don't know, but I'm just tapping this over the eye. I'm not using this for any particular reason other than I just want to keep trying it out. I don't want to like conceal my eye particularly, but I'm going to cover it in shadow anyway. But so for this, like, you're going to need a lot of blending brushes, very big fluffy brushes, and nothing is harsh, blending it all out. Everything's really nice and blended. First thing that we're going to do though, before we even get into the shadows, I'm going to take, where are they gone? So 2 NYX jumbo pencils, one in dark brown and one in rust. Yes, rust. What we are going to do is, let me just decrease my eye. I'm going to pop this down first, just as a base to work on, and make sure that the lid is nice and dark. Do not worry about how it looks. It's the beauty of this look. It doesn't really matter. You don't have to be good at makeup to do this. It's basically a big smudgy, grungy, smoky eye. Take my finger and just blend just to soften, just so it's not patchy. Now we look sufficiently insane. More insane things. We're going to take the rust pencil, which is like a shimmery kind of rust colour, a rusty red colour, and I'm going to just take that along my bottom lash line. Because in photographs I can see of her, she's got quite a red, sore looking lower lash line. So we're gonna pop this on the bottom. Again, to give that nice tired look. Bring it down quite far because we are gonna make dark circles with this. So we are not going for real clean and tidy and all that. We are going for smudgy and messy and like she's been wearing this makeup for like 10 years. That's the kind of look we're going for. And she hasn't slept in those 10 years either. So, yeah. So, the first colour that we're going to use is from Makeup Geek. This is the shade Preppy. It's like that mustardy, greeny, yellowy kind of colour. And I'm going to take that on a 224 from MAC. And we're going to start, just from what pictures I can see, there is a little bit of this kind of mustardy shade here and there. So I'm going to take this on the inner corner, the inner crease, and we're going straight up, all the way up to the brow, into the brow if you feel like you need to. Like load that bad boy up. And almost like we're contouring my nose with it. Now don't worry, we are layering, so we'll be going in with more greys and browns and stuff like that. This is just because there is a hint of this somewhere in the eye, so we're going to take that. And I feel like I just want to bring it all the way along. Because then once I layer my other stuff on, this will just be there. You know what I mean? Okay, so now just to get the lower lash line going, I haven't really decided exactly what way I want to do it, but I do know I want to do this first anyway. I'm going to take a Makeup Geek soft dome brush. Also, we could use the same brush, just clean it off if you want to. And I'm going to take the shade from Colourpop, Made to Last, which is like this. In the way. It's like this kind of pinky brown sort of shade, just to keep that like tired look to the eye going. Don't worry about like the actual dark circles, we're going to do that in a while, but I just want to blend this along here. We're going to kind of start lighter and build kind of up to dark. This is the shade 568. It's like a matte grey or brown, but a very cool brown. And then the other one is going to be the shade 360, which I adore for these kinds of looks. A bit darker. Same kind of tone, but just a bit darker. So we're going to take the 568 shade. I'm going to take this on a MAC 217. And I'm going to actually take this one because it's a bit bigger. Same too, it's a 217 as well, I just have a lot of them. And I'm just going to buff that, load that up. We're just going to start kind of building that up here. Bring that all the way up. Because I'm going to use more grey tones and charcoaly shades on the lid. These will just be like kind of the browny tones that I can see as well. I'm going to take a little bit of that as well, and we're just going to do it right there. See that little like hole there almost. We're going to just emphasize that. Not going to do as much as we did with the kind of mustardy colour. We're just going to get that little hole right there. Just to really get in and sharpen that out. Now I'm going to take another 217. I mean, you could use the same one really. They're kind of the same colour. It's just one is darker. This is the shade 360 like I showed you before. And we're just going to load that up. Just go a little bit closer to the lid. But I still want to leave this, see that kind of wet bit right there? I want to leave that for helping the darker colour stick. But as you can see, like I'm really not, like I'm not even gonna have to look. I don't even look. It's actually probably easier to not look at it, because the more you look at it, the more you want to perfect it. And this is not to be perfected, this is to be messy. Okay, so now what we're going to do is take the shade 306, which is like this charcoaly kind of colour, on a MAC 239, which is a flat brush. Just going to press that onto this bit here. That wet part that we were leaving, like I said, and just up onto the lid. Like I feel like this is like the shadow part, where like this is where if you had makeup on, this is it. The rest is just to look tired, so the rest of all this bit is all like her skin. You know what I mean? It's all the natural tones in her eye. And again, I'm even using this brush to blend it because I don't want it to be soft. But I'm going to take a little bit of it, just like not in as far here, kind of up there. Okay, so I'm going to go back in with my soft tone brush from Geek, keeping the same kind of, I'm not cleaning it, I don't really care. I'm going to go in and we're going to kind of create a dark circle. So let's have a little look at her face. How does it go? So hers are actually kind of similar to mine in that they kind of swoop down instead of going across, you know what I mean? And you can see mine. I mean, I could just leave them really, but I want to emphasize them a little bit more. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that 568, isn't that what it is? Yes, 568, the kind of brown shade first. I'm going to load that up, and we're literally just going to like that. Because a lot of the time it's kind of that browny purpley sort of tone that you get, especially if you're really having slept. Then I have this shade, which is very similar to the one I use on my lid, but it's a bit more purple. This is the shade 308. Tiniest little dab on the very tip of the brush, and we're just gonna right in the darkest part right there. Just gonna bring that up and over, just so that's kind of darker here. Don't make it like a fade or anything like that, just like literally pack it on there and like flick it outwards. So what I'm going to do now is actually go back into that Made to Last shade. Cleaned off that same brush, have actually cleaned off this time, and we're just going to kind of blend that across the bottom. I mean, I was going to add like an actual red shadow, but I don't know if I will now. I might just use that rust colour in my waterline to kind of emphasize the red instead of actually going in with full blown red. Okay, so I just want to see how this looks. So we're going to go back in with the rust pencil, and I'm going to actually just go into my waterline. Because it's, in the pictures, it looks like it's quite irritated on her eye, but I don't want to go in with like full blown red eyeshadow and like make a vampire. I still want it to be like real. Yeah, so I'm going to do mascara. It does look like she has mascara on in some pictures, so I'm going to do it. Like I said, I'm going to be putting highlighter on, so why not? I'm going to do that now, so go grab my mascara. So I'm going to use the Greater Than by DM Flow mascara. Like I said, it's not my favourite mascara in the world, but I also don't want it to be too mascara-y. I kind of just want to coat my lashes, which I think this mascara is actually quite good for. It's not great for building up your lashes though. Although, actually now that I'm putting it on, it's actually not too bad. It might have just needed time to settle in. So if you want to really glam this up, you could do a pair of false lashes. I don't. I want to keep it as is, and I love it. I actually love this, and I'm not even done yet. We haven't even gotten to the contour yet. Guys, relax, okay? So, for contour, let's get started. So I've kind of got a couple of bits for contour. I'm gonna do definitely my Next to Skin blusher because it's quite grey toned, and you definitely want a grey tone for this. I've also got this Inglot sculpting powder, which is also a cooler tone brown. This is in the shade 513. But I might also use an actual grey eyeshadow. We'll see how we get on. Okay, so skin I'm going to kind of just do as is. Let me get a picture of her actual contour. See, it's a heavy contour. It's Tim Burton contour. And it's one of those that kind of goes down a little bit. Only a little bit though. Very heavy here, quite heavy here. They're kind of all like that. Even Johnny Depp's is kind of like that. So, let's do something. So I'm going to take a Real Techniques contour brush. It's an old one, so it's a little bit smaller, but I don't really mind that. I noticed that they're kind of more fluffed up now, so that's why I'm just mentioning that smaller. So we're going to take that way back to the hairline. Kind of map it out first, and then you can blend it. I'm going to go down like that. Yeah? And then we're going to blend. So like it should be very heavy here. And like whatever's left in the brush, kind of sweep it down. But just make sure that it's still not so harsh to where it is actually just a line. So this has, because it's a cool tone, it's a grey tone contour, but it still has a bit of warmth in it. I need that to be more grey. So we'll do that in a few minutes. I'm going to also take a little bit of that down the sides of the nose. So I'm going to go in with the shade 568 again, because this is kind of grayer. And we're just going to layer that, particularly along the cheek here. And again, like starting back here and then sweeping it down. What I'd suggest as well is if you feel like, you know, as you're doing it, it looks a bit funny, which sometimes happens. Like, I mean, I do it all the time, where I'm like, that just looks ridiculous. Because obviously you're changing your face shape. Do it. Take a picture of it with a flat on and see how ridiculous it looks. If it does look quite ridiculous, then just, you know, lighten it, blend it out a bit more, put a bit of powder over top of it. But, I mean, this is a Halloween look, guys. Come on. Don't be scared. Well, do be scared. That's what we're going for. So, we're kind of done with everything. I'm going to just kind of move on to lips. It's very heavy there. Doesn't look like she's got a lot on, but obviously she does. So I'm going to just take down the colour of my lips with this guy, and then maybe go in with a pencil and just kind of do something with it. So, but I'm going to do it like chap lips. Oh yeah, look at that. So I'm going to, you can kind of see it there. I just did that and tapped it. So you're leaving like cracks in the lips, because again, we want to look slightly unhealthy. I'm going to just get a bit of pencil just to define the line, but still keep the like chap lips in the middle. I'm going to use a MAC lip pencil in the shade Plum, just because it's kind of like a little bit of a lip colour. It's a little bit darker, but it's not too dark, and it's not very red. No, you definitely don't want like lip line and overlined lips, unless you're going to do like a very glam version of her, but I think she's glam enough as she is, so leave her be. Okay, so now I have pretty much everything done. What I'm going to do is go do my hair of some sorts. I might just do it on camera, but maybe just speed through so you can kind of see what I do with it, because I don't actually know what I'm going to do. I'm going to like messily like curl it, crimp it, do whatever, because her hair is like big. Put it up into kind of pigtails and like pin it to my head basically, and have loads of bits kind of falling down. That's kind of the tutorial. That's as much as I know as well. So I'm going to do something like that. We'll see. I'm going to put my costume that I've made myself, because it's not a costume, I just have a corset and some lacy things to go over top of it to make it look like it, and I've got gloves. And I may get a knife from downstairs just to be weird like that. My mother is going to judge me so hard. But yeah, let's do that. I'll be back in a sec. Alright guys, this is the finished look. You will have seen me kind of curl my hair, crimp my hair in bits and sections, and I just kind of put it into little ponytails, and then literally just scrunched it up, popped it up, and then pulled loads of pieces out. That's kind of all. That's what I've seen from videos. That's what I've done. I've kind of left like messy bits out and whatever. You can do it cleaner, you can do it messy, you can back brush and do all that, but I'm not back brushing because I want to be able to wear my hair curly tomorrow as well. I might actually do this, or even like pigtails, or like just, you know, I don't know, do like a Harley Quinn kind of look. I don't know, maybe. We'll see. So yeah, that is it. I have got no knife that is not this size, because we don't use big knives like that in my house. I have got no meat cleaver, which I was trying to find like a fake one today, but I couldn't find one anywhere because it's not Halloween yet and those kind of things are not around. What I did find actually kind of works really well is a rolling pin. Yeah, I really like it. It's cool. So this is our Mrs. Lovett makeup look. Yeah, makeup transformation. Kind of look like her, but I'm blonde, so it doesn't really have as much of an effect the way it does. Like, I don't look like Helena Bonham Carter. That's simple. But yeah, this is my Mrs. Lovett, and I love her look. I love this makeup. It's so awesome. I'm gonna send a picture to my boyfriend and see what he thinks, but I actually really love the eyes. I love these eyes. I would totally wear dark circles like this out. I mean, absolutely no problem. I love it. Contour is a bit heavy for me, but whatever. It is Sweeney Todd. It is Tim Burton. So yeah, if you enjoyed this look, then give me a big thumbs up down below. Let me know in the comments what you thought of the look, and what your favourite Tim Burton character is. I have a few picked out that I want to do. I can't do them all, sorry, but I do have some of my favourites that I'm going to do, and I love the costumes and the makeup from. But there is one that two that I'm not doing because I want to do that in a different series. But yeah, so that is pretty much it. If you want to see more of my Tim Burton looks that I have coming up, then hit subscribe down below, also to see more videos, more tutorials, more of everything else, and I'll see you in the next video, guys. Bye!